y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? If so, can you let me know in the chat? I'm looking at it right now on my phone. Can you hear my voice clearly? Is the music overpowering my voice? So it sounds good. Thank you, Miss English. Shout out to Miss English. I'll do 23. Let's try 21. 21. Okay, let's do 22 because it seems like that's going to be the sweet spot. Hello, y'all. Once again, with a lot of my commentary lately and recently, I've kind of just been going live when I felt, I guess, compelled to. Because one thing about me, and I'm just speaking about myself, and I appreciate everybody else speaking about themselves. What's up, King Anubis? What's going on? What's going on? I might definitely need you to chime in on this. What's up, Aries? What's going on? Before I say anything, I just want to put this out here. And I know a lot of people, when it comes to political or debates or just, egos and stuff, I guess, and I can only speak for me, and when I say it, I know it's going to be tested, and that's cool. I'm okay with being tested. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. I'm doing the best that I can to learn to love myself so I can love and understand other people's experiences of life. Because like I was stating in my Instagram live earlier, and my Instagram was messing up, we all have to share this planet together. We are all here for a reason. Above all things, I believe in spirit. That's just me. And I appreciate that now there is a spiritual awakening that's happening here, especially in America, in the West. It's a long time overdue. Like, other countries are learning how to become more balanced and aligned in reference to their community. And I'm not saying it's perfect, because trust me, in every community there is something going on. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. But especially here in the West, we have this whole idealistic view of what perfection looks like. And well, at least I'm not doing that. And girl, you doing that. And like taking cardinal things and putting them up on the forefront as if though this is the way to live the best life. And it's like, no, you're living the lives and viewpoints of other people, and I'm happy for people just walking, first of all, in their truth, whatever that truth may look like. But if you're really about humanity, if you're really about spirit, if you're really about love, if you're really about inclusion and understanding, once again, you would check yourself first. And like I said in one of my most recent lives, a real woke person is going to check themselves first above all things to make sure that they are good. And especially in disparaged communities, discriminated and oppressed communities, there once again is not a lot of resources there. I mean, if the resources was there, I'm pretty sure the reality would be a lot different. But at the same time, I can understand the frustration and I guess the viewpoint if these people did have resources and they just took them for granted. And it's like, these conversations, and one thing about myself that I had to learn and that I'm still learning, I don't really like confrontation. I don't like confrontation. I'm very much a solution oriented person, but I'm learning to understand that confrontation, if looked at in a certain type of way, can be used as a learning tool for everybody involved. And that confrontation doesn't have to be bad either. It doesn't have to be demonized either. confrontation can actually be good if we're on the same page and trying to accomplish the same goal. Because, to be honest, if what we was really doing was really motherfucking tea and it was really the answer and the truth, the communities and the experiences that everybody's talking about would not be happening right now. It would be completely different. So we have to have these conversations to try to understand each other. But I just find it very funny to me that we have people who claim, and I'm not speaking about one person in particular. I don't do subliminals because from what you've seen, I've added people. The people commentary that I felt some type of way about, trust me, I always added them. I didn't have to do no subliminal. They knew who I was talking to. But I'm talking about just in general. I feel like a lot of people say that they care about humanity and all lives and all this other type of stuff, but then when it's time to actually apply that, it's not seen. And to be honest, it's happening from all over. It's not just white people, it's black people doing it too, it's Asian people doing it too, it's Latino people doing it too, it's Middle Eastern people doing it too, gay people doing it too, straight people doing it too, bi, trans, everybody's doing it. We're all human beings and we're dealing with these emotions, and we, at least in my opinion, are slowly but surely waking up and learning how to balance those things within us so that we're not stepping all over each other. And the only way that's going to happen is if we have conversations. And it's just funny to me that we have all these questions and we want to know, but then when the opportunity presents itself for us to actually have those conversations, don't nobody want to pull up. Like, don't ain't nobody saying drop the link. Ain't nobody saying, okay, wait a minute, and I'm just tired of it, y'all. Like, no shade, I'm just tired of it, y'all. I'm just tired. Like, how many times are we going to continue to play this game, to go in this familiar, comfortable yet destructive ass circle of blaming each other and saying, oh, look at this, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at this. And even if there is bad stuff over there, it doesn't overshadow the bad that other people have done either. It's like, when are people going to say, you know what, first of all, let me be accountable of my own shit. Let me take ownership of my own experiences. Let me take ownership of the bad things, or I don't even want to say bad things, the unconscious things at that time that I did not know better, girl. I'm grateful to have an experience to where I can learn and then therefore do better because of this experience. But we don't look at it in that way. We're trying to project and trying to block people from our own insecurities and our own pain to just prove to other people that we got it all together by pointing out their stuff first. And it's like, okay, we can, just like with the Bigo News thing that I'm doing. Shout out to Aaron. Hold on, y'all, because when you drink water, you get cotton mouth like a bitch. I mean, edibles, you get cotton mouth like a bitch. Water is your friend. Just like in my recent Bigo News commentary, like I showed y'all what be happening in the LGBT community. A lot of projecting, a lot of egotism, a lot of deflecting, a lot of pointing over here. And it's like once we start to learn how to really check ourselves and get ourselves together, baby, there is a certain level of power that nobody will be able to take from you. And depending on how you use that power, it could be in an egotistical way, which means that, girl, I know who I am, so I'm just gonna go up here and continue to destroy you hoes, girl, for my benefit and my, my enjoyment. Or you get to a point to where you start loving yourself and you start encouraging other people to do it too, so that their unique expression of God is validated. Rico, listen, okay? Baby, when I tell you I be a whole slut for water, okay? I be fucking up at least 10 bottles a day of water or something. Like, I would drink some water, okay? Yes, stay hydrated. Don't stay thirsty, my friend. Stay hydrated, okay? Don't let that motherfucker lie to you, girl. I'm screaming. But yeah, it's like, why are we so scared to talk to each other, girl? And then when we do talk to each other, we be so motherfucking tense. And I get it, cause girl, when the tension is there, girl, that's the shit we need to address. We need to address the motherfucking tension, girl. Because the tension is there. If the tension wasn't there, girl, there wouldn't be that type of energy on both ends and both parts. And girl, I don't know, maybe we have just got comfortable of just having our own platforms and trying to control our own narrative and then be struggling to do that. For example, when I give my commentary on Amber Lynn and Chantel, girl, I don't be reading them and dragging them and all that type of stuff for no reason or because it's fun to do. Like, no, girl, it's like you people are literally putting this information about yourself out there, girl, that we have objectively seen, girl, and then you try to tell us the experience through your lens, girl, and you struggle with believing that. And then fight so hard and then get mad at people and rage and go off on them and cuss them the fuck out and just completely go all the dark zone on their ass, girl, because what they said was true, girl. And they weren't supposed to see that, even though your ass objectively put that shit out there for it to be seen, girl. And even me, like, I'm pretty sure the day will come where people will be asking me to drop the link and challenge my thought processes, and that's okay. I'm learning to understand that that's okay, because I, first of all, don't know everything. And I'm not finna sit up here and act like I know everything, that I'm better than everybody else. Hell the fuck no, girl. I'm equal to everybody, girl. That's why I'm trying to understand y'all so that I can show up better in that experience. That's it. But then I have to remind myself that, girl, I also live on planet Earth, which means that this is the planet of free will, girl, where you can do whatever you want to do. Especially here in America. Ain't that the dream? Isn't that the goal? To experience freedom? And it's crazy, we talk about freedom, girl, but yet we don't demonstrate freedom, girl. Freedom in what is the question? And I feel like it's time for us to start realizing who we are. And if people saying they about community, girl, understand the community is going to motherfucking check those who say they about the community. Point blank period, of course. But the problem is that we be putting so much of our energy, time, effort into one person or a group of people as opposed to having people come in who are objective in their emotions to be able to mediate everything in a responsible way, a constructive way, so that the community can understand the community. Because even in the community of LGBT, even in the community of blackness, we're still struggling. We're trying to understand what that community actually looks like. What does it look like? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What is that experience? And I feel that we can definitely achieve that, because first of all, anything is possible. There are people in the world now who there are great stories about them, whether it's true or not, girl, but the level of experience and reach and just inspiration that it has provided in other people's lives to actually just live life. To live life. And here's the thing too, when we speak about these issues, especially with blackness and queerness. Let me speak for queerness first, then go to blackness, because the queer community is smaller than the black community, despite this agenda, this gay agenda. Where is this huge amount of people just automatically just, I like cat now. I like cat now, and I mean really like cat now, because it's a phase or it's a fad. I'm talking about dealt with the true objective 360 reality of what it's like to be LGBT, especially LGBT of color. But let's start with the queer part first. Matter of fact, let me get some water first of all, bitch. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, here it is. Stay hydrated, people. Oh, yes, it's water. Thank you. Let's start with the queer aspect first. And again, I'll use my experience, because once again, it's what I went through. Grew up in the 90s. Born in 91, grew up in the 90s. The first time I ever heard anybody call me the F word, or better yet, I ain't gonna say call me. The first time I heard the F word was in church. I grew up in the Baptist church for a big part of my life. I ain't gonna say all my life because I'm not in it anymore, but for a very, very, very big part of my life, I've been there. Maybe up to like 2014, 2015 is when I stopped going to church and really started delving deeper within self and trying to understand myself and start challenging things, you know, but heavily influenced in the church. And girl, we know how the church, especially the black church, feels about LGBT, girl. They're not for it, girl. It is one of the quote-unquote cardinal sins, girl. Like, girl, you can do any other sin in the world, girl, but don't do that shit. Okay? Just don't do that, okay? Where scriptures like Leviticus and scriptures from Matthew and all the other scriptures that have been interpreted to be anti-gay are used. And imagine, as a child, that stuff being said to you and affirmed to you as a child. And we're talking about children in impressionable ages, right? You know, we love the kids and stuff, the children. Don't forget about the kids, the children. But what about the gay kids who have to endure that? And then, when I first was called the F word, it was from my own group of people, my own black brothers and sisters. I remember like it was yesterday. I was in the 3rd grade, and I was in this class called Miss Harrison's class. She was our homeroom teacher. She was real dope. And it was this one boy. I don't know if he's in jail or alive, or I don't know. I don't know. I saw him one time as an adult, and I'm like, hey, and I kept it moving. But he called me the F word. He did. And instinctually inside of myself, I didn't know what that meant, but I was like, so? And everybody just bust out laughing, like, oh my God. Like, it was confirmed now, and I didn't even know what it was. But trust me, they helped me to understand the objective worldview of how people view LGBT people. And I know people be like, well, I would whoop their ass. I would have whooped their ass and all that type of stuff. Girl, first of all, I was a scary bitch back then. Because I didn't know how to fight. I didn't know how to defend myself. I was pretty much a goofy ass kid who had a big ass heart. I didn't want to fight and do all that shit. And I grew up being bullied and people messing with me. All type of shit. So when that day happened, girl, after that, girl, they started fucking with me real bad to where it would be a motherfucking recess, girl. I got a motherfucking hide, and I had to hang, and I was hanging with the girls. I was hanging with the females all the time. I was always with them. First of all, because I felt protected over there. Because if I went anywhere else, y'all motherfuckers would be trying to fuck with me, nigga. Okay? So I had to be around them. To the point to where my parents would have to come to the school and talk to, you know, the principal and all this other type of stuff. And then my parents, they in religion, so they trying to understand why this is happening to their child. And not really getting it resolved. And then on top of that, girl, the few bullies that I had, girl, done multiplied. I remember one time we was leaving, because we had like modulars as far as like classrooms and stuff. And it was the end of the day, and I was walking to the parking lot to get picked up by my mom. And the same dude who called me the F word, girl, was walking beside me and shit. And I thought, you know, everything was cool. Like, I ain't had no problem with it, whatever the case may be. Nigga just jawed the fuck out of me. Boom! I mean, jawed the shit out of me, girl. I just dropped. Boom. Girl, for no reason. Why? What warranted that? It was this one kid, girl. His name was Martin Luther King Jr. for real, girl. And his nigga face looked like all this motherfucking shrapnel that Martin Luther King ass endured when he got shot, girl. Cause the nigga face was all scratched the fuck up, girl. I'm like, bitch, did they use your face as a goddamn a reference for that bitch from 13 Ghosts with the goddamn shit on her head, the jackal looking bitch with the cage on her head and shit. And this nigga would literally choke me like, girl, I've been punched. Girl, I've been punched. I've been kicked. I've been stumped. But girl, when he choked me, girl, I didn't know what to do, bitch. Because I'm like, first of all, I've never been choked. And he was choking the fuck out of me in the classroom. And the way he was choking me, I'm like, nigga, there's some motherfuckers in the world who like being choked like that now. I don't know them type of people. God bless them. But I ain't one of them. Was fucking me up. And then it got to a point to where I didn't even want to be here anymore, girl. I don't mind exposing myself, girl. It's go down my YouTube catalog, girl, to the beginning, girl. I have a whole ego death series when I was looking busted, crusted, and disgusted, forehead big, girl, big ass honey bun jaws, girl, hairline fucked up, girl, just all type of messed up, was depressed as hell, girl, desperate over a nigga, girl, was contemplating self-deletion, all that type of shit, girl. But even in middle school, girl, I had ideas of self-deletion, girl. Cause it was like, girl, why be here, girl? If this gonna be the reality, girl, I'm realizing that I'm gay, girl, and it's scary. It's not a experience where I should be, where I feel like I'm able to explore and to be able to figure out who I am comfortably. I'm living in a world, especially at that time, girl, which they trying to low key get back to that same energy, girl, cause they don't want to see these homosexuals be free, girl. They don't want to see that. But during that time, as a child, once again, having to endure that, and I can't talk to my family about it because my dad's a goddamn deacon, girl, and we already know how they feel about that shit. I couldn't talk to friends, girl, because the motherfuckers that was my friends was friends with me in private, girl, but when public came, girl, oh, they ain't know me. So of course they was on some fake shit. And then imagine being told, above all things, girl, that God ass is going to punish you, you little sinner homosexual boy. Imagine a child being told that they're gonna burn in hell, girl, for a natural attraction to them. And I'm not speaking for the experiences of people who are ex-gay, because if there are people in the world who are ex-gay and feel like they're living a better life, not a life to please other people, but to be satisfied with this new version of life that God has given them, and they are truly, wholeheartedly in it, that's fine, girl. I have no problem with that, girl. Live whatever truth you feel is best for you, girl. I'm not against that. But there are some of us, girl, whose life has dealt us these cards, girl, and we have to come to the understanding, girl, that God is in all things. No matter what other people's opinions are about it, girl, it's about us learning how to love ourselves and express that in our own life. So that instead of us sitting here emulating and trying to live vicariously through these characters in a book, girl, we actually become them in real life through our own unique experience, which then therefore reinforces that God is in everything. That's why redemption is important, girl. But imagine as a child growing up, there was no redemptive quality to that, girl. None. So you dealing with that whole thing, and there was a point in time when I was in the 8th grade, girl, where I was like, girl, fuck this shit. I am out, girl. I am out. I'm not doing this no more, girl. Like, this ain't what my life gonna be, girl. I might as well just go ahead and just remove myself from the equation, girl, and make everybody happy, girl. Like, my parents won't have to worry about their child being bullied and then them disowning me because I'm gay, girl, and I'll be going to God for judgment, bitch. Let me go ahead and take myself out, girl, so that these motherfuckers can go ahead and feel some sort of guilt. Like, me taking myself out would make them feel guilty, so even though I'm gone, they have to live with the reality that they pushed someone to do this and all this stuff, not taking accountability for my own shit, but see, allowing that experience outside of me to dictate how I felt about myself. And there was no self-validation there, and there was no validation on the outside of me either. So yeah, There are going to be people in the world who have survived that, who have become better from that, and have learned from that, and that are actually going to share that information with other people. Let me tell you something about the power of fear. People fear what they do not understand, and they will hate what they fear. Just as powerful that love is powerful, but so is fear too. Especially whatever you give your energy to. You're going to attract that. And what you resist is going to always persist. What you resist is going to always persist. So when we're sitting here being fearful of other people's experiences, you low-key are giving your energy to that thing to grow in your face, because you're the one struggling with that. And the reason why we're struggling with that is because we're struggling how to find that love and balance within ourselves. So if I can't see it in me, of course, it's going to seem impossible to see that in other people. But that's why the people who at least are on those levels should be helping other people to get those levels and then go higher, because there's really no cap to this shit. This is an infinite experience of God, which is why no matter what you're going through, what you've been through, and what you gonna go through, girl, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, is in everything. So that no matter what reality you're in, what reality you're shifted into, God is in there somewhere. And I'm gonna say this. Get this water real quick. Ooh, this edible good. And Rico, if you still here, I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. And I low-key be feeling bad, cause I be like, damn, every time Anubis be live, I be sleep. Cause let me tell you something, my sleeping schedule all over the place. That's why I know I'm going through some sort of spiritual shift, and I'm just learning how to just ride the flow and embrace it, girl, and just be open. So I be missing your lives. So it's kind of like I'm so used to planning lives, and you're like in the flow, which is cool. So it's like when I do catch it, I be trying to really get into it. You know what I mean? And we're supposed to be having a conversation about this type of stuff anyway. So I just looking forward to your commentary as well, because again, your experience is valid. But with the whole Ron thing, which I wasn't even expecting it to be like that, honestly. First of all, Ron ass got, I think, 90 to close to 100,000 subscribers. First of all, I'm just surprised that his ass reacted to my stuff, because it's like when you have a bigger platform, like I'm still at 700 or something subscribers, girl. My bro about to surpassing me. He about to be 1K, and then King Anubis over here almost, I think, at 2K or probably past 2K. Like, I'm still growing. Just like I'm short, y'all. It's gonna take me a minute to get there, girl, but I'm learning on the way there. Okay, I'm trying to be smart so I can build an elevator, so I ain't gotta climb, girl. I can just whoop. Okay. I'm screaming. I am screaming. But like I said, I was listening to the commentary last night, and I was saying to myself, because once again Ron had responded, which I again shocked the fuck out of me. But the comment that he put was kind of as if though like I was attacking him and I was discussing him in general as a person. And when I saw that, I ain't gonna hold you. I had to deal with my ego, girl, because my ego was like, first of all, girl, you missing the point. You missing the point. And I know how I can get and my mouth can get, because it's like that's not even the intention. But then checking myself, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just say what I mean. How the saying go? Say what you mean what you say, but don't be mean when you say it. So it was like when I read his response, I was like, I mean, to me that kind of proved that you didn't really watch and listen to what I was saying, because I kept saying throughout my commentary, which I'm so glad I listened to it last night, really just to hear how the mic was sounding, and I did some sort of setting to where it kind of sounds more like a podcast. So I was like, yes, I finally got it. And it sounds so good to me when I was listening to it last night. But just listening to even to my response and being like, okay, girl, let me check myself. Because if I'm wrong, bitch, I have no problem getting on this hoe and being like, look, I'm sorry. I feel bad. And that's why I say a conversation is good. Because if I am wrong, let me know so I can correct myself. I don't know everything. But listening back to the commentary and responding, it was like I said multiple times that my commentary is not meant to denigrate him as a person. It's not meant to assassinate his character. I was saying many times validating his experience and that his unique experience of blackness is validated. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and deny that because he did experience it. So, I didn't do that. I was asking questions trying to understand, and then some of the stuff that he was saying, what could be considered as jargon, like maybe my stuff can be considered gay agenda jargon, I don't know. But the jargon he was using, I was breaking down what that was and trying to get him to understand the experiences of blackness and queerness that, no tea, no shade, he never experienced. Or that experience that he wanted in reference to his blackness and to that was not, it was rejected. It wasn't fully embraced. And even me, my blackness and gayness is probably not even fully embraced by people within my own community simply because I'm gay. They want me to be black first, girl, but then when my sexuality is discussed or I disclose that to you, all of a sudden now my blackness has taken a back seat and now the issue is with my sexuality. So my commentary was basically to respond to the viewpoints and what he said, which is what I did. I felt like I did very successfully. And if I didn't, let me know where I was wrong at so that we can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I am not beyond reproach. Okay, I don't know everything. I'm still figuring myself out. I'm just sharing information as I go along, which I'm proud of Ron doing that for himself. Like, and I even said at the end of the video, look, Ron, if you feel like this is something like this shift in your life that you're sharing with us right now has made you happy and satisfied with life for real, like for yourself, I would never ever get mad at that. As long as you're happy and you're not hurting yourself or hurting other people, I don't fucking care. So if that's what you want to do, I commend you in that. Again, I would never take away your experience of that. But that's when I was like, you obviously didn't listen to the video, or you was listening to hear some of the jargon and be like, okay, well, let me look. Yep, see, I told you, look, see, see, I don't have time to go deep. I don't have time. I just want to deal with the facts and the facts and the facts and the facts and the facts. Girl, what type of facts are these? Are these the facts that they're confirming the political jargon, or is it the fact that these experiences that they're saying is not true and you can validate to them that their experience is not true? But then when people start doing that to you, and I feel like they will, in my opinion, because once again, with you getting up on YouTube and expressing your political viewpoint and opinion about being with a conservative party, I'm just curious to understand, which once again, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not trying to persuade you to go blue or whatever the case may be. Like, you grown as hell, you've been doing you. I don't pay your bills. I don't pay for your food or whatever. I don't pay for any of that shit. So what my opinion is in your life for real does not matter. But since you're sharing that, I'm just curious to know, being a part of this party who has objectively and openly discussed their viewpoints in reference to traditional marriage and the traditional family, which is a nuclear family of a man, a woman, and therefore producing a child, and then them continuing that process, and their viewpoints that they keep enforcing that says that those who are LGBT are not capable of doing this. So because they're not capable of doing this, they do not deserve to have any sort of representation. And if it is a very limited representation, girl. And we gon' pimp the hell out of y'all talent when it comes to that, and then continue to deny your humanity. So like I said, I would hope that going forward, because he's doing a podcast, y'all, called The Broke and Woke, or The Woke and Broke. It's around them terms. No shade. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being serious. Make sure y'all subscribe to Ron Vugada. Make sure y'all do. I'm not saying it in a trolling ass way, because first of all, I only got 700 some subscribers, girl, and I don't even get that many views on my videos like that. So who gonna go over there and troll, girl? What? Okay. I'm just saying to go over there and to subscribe so that we can understand each other. That's all. And I hope that going forward in this podcast, you would actually also maybe upload some videos or get some audio of you going to these Republican conventions and just interviewing the people there and saying, you know, there are a group of black people and a group of LGBT people who are hurting and are under this illusion or whatever. Like, what is your experience of blackness and gayness? Like, what do you feel about black people and LGBT people? And let the people respond and show us, or show the other people who you consider to be, you know, extreme leftists and all that type of stuff, to prove to them once and for all what the Republican Party thinks of them. To let them know from this experience that you're talking about, hey, you know what? Why don't you come over here to our side and at least listen to what's being said? Like, let's invite these people in and have a conversations with these people, but then no tea, no shade. Like, for example, Candace Owens, she was talking about how the media has lied. The media has lied. Well, which media are you talking about? The leftist media has lied? But what about the media that shows, and I don't know, it might be the leftists, I don't know. I mean, I think the right shows it too. I mean, I could be wrong, I don't know. But what about the media showing these situations at these Republican conventions? Like, for example, the Trump convention, girl, where there were people who were in opposition of him and were yelling and screaming and causing a ruckus or whatever. Were they challenged in love? Were they like, hold on, wait a minute, y'all, let's hear him out. Like if you're gonna be in the room and you're gonna do this, okay, well, let's talk then. Like, I have nothing to hide. I know that I care about black people. I know that I care about LGBT. Let me say in his voice. I knew. I don't even know if I can do it, bitch. My lips not that thin, girl. Let me see if I can do Trump. Hold on. Jeez, guys, listen. The black people, I love the black people, okay? The black people have been very good to me. You know, I love them. They equate me with Cheetos, and black people love hot Cheetos, so I know I'm hot, okay? They keep talking about how they want Trump checks. So, you know, I care about the black people and the LGBTs. Look at my wife. She's an alien in disguise. So trust me, I'm down with any form of body modification. Okay, guys? Yes, we're gonna do this. We're good, we're great. Girl. Like, girl. He didn't do that, girl. What happened? People was getting punched, girl. Dragged the fuck out, girl. Motherfuckers getting slapped across the face on the way out, girl. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. You know, fuck you, asshole. You know. I don't start cussing like that. Fuck you, asshole. Girl, they was doing all that shit. I mean, doing shit to people, girl. So once again, where is this love? And I asked in my commentary, again, I'm asking questions. Because once again, girl, you decided to upload this to your YouTube channel with your subscribers. And once again, you're trying to get your social media popularity up and your platform and using that as a way to get more exposure and stuff. So, I mean, for the people who have been supporting you and watching you, it's just like, oh, wow, you know, we're just curious to know what actually manifested this particular thing. And I know we don't owe people everything, girl, but you the one that got up here and said that you gonna let us know why you are now a Republican, why you are now on the extreme right side now, to where you done laid down exactly what it was in reference to Republican viewpoints that high key, not even low key, contradict your experience of life. Now, like I said, granted, your experience of blackness is different. Maybe you have not felt the experiences and the oppression that other black people have. But once again, no tea, no shade. You did say, and shout out to Ron here, because Ron Mims, who kind of said something in my last video, was like, you know, that kind of does make sense. Again, I'm gonna just say, for me, ignorantly speaking, just from what I see, I could be wrong. Again, I hope that this podcast, Woke and Broke, actually breaks stuff down so that I can understand it. Be like, oh, okay, Ron, that's cool, because I feel like you can be cool with people who disagree with you. Like, it don't have to always be tension and fuck you, asshole. Like, okay, girl, bitch, we like weed, right? I think Ron ass still smokes, so it's like, bitch, okay, girl, can we motherfucking roll a one up and smoke it, bitch, and then talk, girl? That's okay. We might get into some real deep shit that'd be like, damn, I didn't know this can happen. Like, look what can happen when you have people on opposing sides actually have a fucking conversation and listen to each other. Instead of trying to defend their position, girl, for everybody. Like, no, actually having a conversation, girl. But we don't know how to talk to each other. We don't know how to talk to each other. We don't. And that's the problem. I extended the invitation, and it didn't happen. But for you, and not just you, I'ma still name some names too. Lance Scurv, girl. I told you I'm gonna keep my promise. Now, Lance has not been uploading any LGBT content, which that's cool, because all the other content that he does, I actually agree with. And once again, in my commentary about him, I have always said that I wasn't saying nothing to denigrate you. Until that one time where you kind of went off on my ass when I came into your commentary, your channel and your video, trying to legit have a conversation because you was talking about LGBT. So when LGBT show up, girl, why is it a problem? Do you want to just talk about us without being challenged, girl? Then go do that on your website. But as long as you do it on a public platform, girl, it's like the bus, girl. You can't tell who, girl, we're not doing no, oh, y'all sit in the back of the bus. Bitch, make me. How about that, girl? Fuck that. I'm glad Rosa lived, girl, so that I ain't got to go through that shit, girl. Bitch, my feet hurt and I ain't moving at all, girl. And I want you to put your hands on me. But even with Lance Scurv, I have said in my previous commentaries about his commentary, how I'm not denigrating him. I'm talking about his viewpoints and ideology. Now, all of a sudden, I'm attacking him. Now, all of a sudden, I am an agent of chaos. I'm an agent of confusion. I am sent here to distract the people. I am a plant. I am so heavily indoctrinated in the gay agenda, so much to the point to where, girl, I'm just a kamikaze soldier, girl, that's willing to just sacrifice my damn life and myself for this agenda, girl, that does not benefit me and my life and all this other type of shit, girl. But it's like, y'all don't even listen to the commentary, girl. Y'all don't even listen to what I'm saying, girl. But meanwhile, I'm using your content and pausing your content and having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hour conversations and commentary over your content, girl. Because at least I'm the one that's actually putting in the motherfucking work to have the conversation. To where it's like, bitch, okay then, girl, you ain't gonna talk to me, girl. Let me motherfucking do copyright disclaimer clause, girl. They be doing shit for commentary, girl. And since you won't talk to me, girl, I'll just use your commentary and I will break down the shit like I'm talking to you until you actually have a conversation. Because if y'all gonna sit up here and talk about that y'all about community and truth, girl, guess what? The community gonna try your ass. Just like just like I was tried growing up, girl. We gonna always be tried, girl. The message now, the viewpoint now is, girl, am I gonna be able to handle being tried? And if I try myself, girl, when motherfuckers try me, girl, I know who the fuck I am, and my actions prove that. Even with Candace Owens, girl, I appreciate you doing documentaries, girl, because the documentary was shot and edited nice. It was clean cut. The audio was good, girl. The music in there, girl, I liked it. I liked it when it came to that. There were certain things I was like, nah, girl, I'm struggling to understand. I ain't caught her no bald head hoe. I ain't never said no shit. Now, I may have threw some shade a little bit, because, girl, come on now. Girl, we gonna throw shade. Regardless, girl. Okay, I'm just saying. No shade. But I hope that Candace will now do documentaries going into the hood, you know, going into those areas where, once again, the police brutality is happening in such alarming rates. And I hope that she will continue to expose the black community, like go into the community and talk to these individuals. Get their opinion and their views. If you're really trying to help black community, why not go to ground zero? Why not be on your Jesus Christ? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, girl, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, girl. Why not go to these disparaging neighborhoods and interview the citizens and the people living in those communities? Let's go ahead and interview some old black grandmas. Let's go ahead and interview some street hood niggas and bitches. Let's go interview some goddamn prostitutes, girl. You said that George Floyd ass died off of these cocktail of drugs, girl. Let's go to these places where it's running amok and really show the black community, girl, y'all is lying. Y'all sitting here getting high as fuck, girl, ain't doing shit, and you're lying about white people, girl. Show us. Help us understand. That's why I'm saying, if people are collectively doing something that is hurting other people and other groups of people, girl, those people do have a right to stand up for themselves and speak. But girl, show the people who are doing the shit what they're doing. So I would hope that she will continue to do that. I hope that Ron will continue to do that as far as with his series, exposing the Black Lives Matter and the quote-unquote gay agenda in the LGBT community and what's going on that is so destructive that black people are just so dumb and stupid, girl, to just sit here and just continue to live in the past and not actually pay attention to what's going on presently. I just want that to be the case. I hope that is the case. Now let me look at some of y'all comments, because girl, y'all know I can talk. Girl, this edible got me flowing. Okay. I need to get me some papers. Y'all, personally speaking, I feel like weed, if used correctly, girl, can make a lot of changes, girl. I just feel like if motherfuckers just say, girl, bro, a goddamn good ass sativa ass joint up, girl, some raw cones for you hood niggas, bitch, leaves and shit. Let's just roll this shit up, blow some trees, bro, open up our mind and have conversations, girl, and say how you feel. Because even with black men, girl, it's hard for black men to express their goddamn emotions and their viewpoints, girl, because that's gay. It's like, goddamn. Ron says, well, we all know how the Republicans feel about the LGBT plus community. Not one moment you don't see some representative from that party saying how we need to protect. Not one moment you don't, see some representative from the party saying how we need to protect our children from perversion. Exactly. And I think I did a live, not recently, but like a few months ago, where I think they were trying to get some bill passed about trans and this, and of course the ignorance of trans. They're thinking that, you know, these parents are sending their goddamn 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old children to get goddamn Lord, anatomy cut the fuck off and just, you know, all type of fucked up and stuff, not understanding there are certain procedures that have to happen and certain mental and emotional tests and observations that have to happen to ensure what's going on. Because once again, yes, this, for some people, it is a life-altering thing to where you can't go back. I don't know if you can. I don't know. I'm not trans, so I'm not going to speak fully on trans experience because that's not me. But it was a young girl who, one of the people who was introducing the bill, she had an experience, and I guess the experience caught some attention or whatever, and the trans girl ended up inviting the representative and his wife over to dinner to have dinner with him. So the representative that has, once again, these very conservative views, again, very much, you know, right wing, and I guess I'm gonna use the political jargon just for the context of the conversation, girl. I'm not supporting the political systems anymore, because once again, nothing has come from that. It has always been the people. Once the people start putting the power in the people, girl, shit gonna change. But according to these people who are Republican, girl, okay, he was invited to dinner once again from the family with the trans daughter, and him and his wife. I want to see if I can find that article. Hold on, because I want to read this shit verbatim, y'all. Girl. Not T.S. Madison dressed up as goddamn Maleficent, girl. You need to dress up as Ursula with them big ass titties, bitch. Hold on. the music. Y'all like the music? I try to make my shit a vibe. I done altered shit and put goddamn effects on and shit. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Hold on. I just don't like how it ends so abruptly like that. I'm looking, y'all. Give me 1 second. Girl, where is it at? Yes, this it. Girl, this was a 6-hour live, bitch. I'd be proud of myself, girl. Okay? Cause then, bitch, you know, you putting that mental, emotional work in. Did I put it down here? Let's see. Girl, I didn't. Fuck. Oh, this it, girl. This it. Here we go. His name was Ken Paxton. Okay, we're gonna read this article real quick, all right? Okay. I'm gonna get to y'all comments. I'm doing it right now so I can be nice. And then I can read the article. Mike Pence, ex-vice president, supports gay conversion therapy, and gay conversion therapy has been proven to be very dangerous. Those are very extreme, radical ways of doing it, and God ain't involved in that shit no way, girl. What God are we talking about? The God of Thunder, girl? Is it motherfucking Raiden, girl, out here doing gay conversion therapy, girl? Because why y'all shocking the brain, girl? This is not a fatality. Far-right extremist groups are invading librarians. Is it librarians? I guess, yeah. Librarians and gay bars protesting how drag queens are exposing themselves to children. And where is this evidence, girl? And how y'all invading gay bars, girl? Y'all acting like gay bars is exclusive to gays. How many motherfucking straight women go to gay bars all the time, girl? They feel motherfucking safe in the fucking gay bars, girl, because they're not getting pressed on by goddamn desperate ass men and shit. Y'all acting like it's exclusive to gay people, girl. Like there are straight people who go to these bars, girl. So if that's the case, girl, why aren't these straight women who are in these bars, girl, who are perfect for infiltrating these places where, you know, you're not supposed to be? Oh my God, girl, like, no. You see, once again, girl, it's kind of like people being afraid of the dark and what's in the dark, girl, which is their own fucking imagination, girl. Like, why not face what's in the dark and see if it's true? So how are these kids exposing themselves to children? How is that the case? How? Where are they busting it open? Are they giving lap dances to the kids? Where's the video? Do they have the kids wrapped up in bows and shit and doing suggestive stuff? Like on some Shirley Temple type shit? Animal crackers in the soup, loop-de-loop, girl? Is that the case? Somebody explain it to me, girl. Like, and where are the videos? Where are the facts? Because if it's so evident, girl, put it right there, girl. Show it. Show it for what you consider it to be, girl. Candace Owens herself said that men that wear dresses aren't embarrassment, and how we need real men in this world. So where are the examples of the real men? Because once again, I feel like Candace Owens is even supporting a traditional viewpoint of what men are considered to be, trying to find this monolithic view of what black men are, and black men is struggling to figure out what the hell a real man is, because the man a lot of us deem to see in the community, girl, are the men who are destroyers of the community. And I ain't just talking about physically, but I'm also talking about the mental and emotional stuff that happens. Because a lot of the choices that a lot of our black brothers, unconscious black brothers, are doing, girl, are not just affecting the lives of the people who end up getting murked, girl, but it affects the families and the family members and friends of those who lost their lives, girl. And then guess what? The cycle of retaliation happened. Now I gotta take somebody from you, girl. And it's like, girl, we're taking from each other. So what is a real man? What does that look like? Objectively, what does that look like? And how we gonna be real men if real men can't even validate their own fucking feelings? Because even though you're a real man or a real man, you're a human being first, which means you are here to experience your thoughts and your emotions. And you turning yourself off from your emotions is gonna stop, I feel like, in my opinion, from us expressing the fullness of life that all of us deserve to live, girl, because we're here right now. If we wasn't worthy, we wouldn't be here right now. King Anubis said George Floyd was high as fuck. Yeah, he was high as fuck. But I mean, yeah, you right. The toxicology report, they said he was high as fuck. He was on drugs and stuff. I do appreciate that part. I mean, that's cool, but once again, them villainizing him as a criminal, that has always been something that's always been done. It's the same thing to Trayvon Martin, all these things, but did they deserve to die, though? And then she also said that the police, like when she was interviewing the one guy who, I guess had a church there, I forgot his name, I think it was a guy from Africa or something, about how this town was an amazing, wonderful town, and, you know, it was just thriving so much, girl, and it was all this other type of stuff. Just people were happy and there were no problems, and it was just, oh my God, consider the sunshine state, girl, just so wonderful. It don't rain over here, girl. The sun's always shining in rainbows the way God intended it, girl. And then they end up walking on the side where George Floyd died at. But here's the funny part, though. Not the funny part, but just me, girl, again, we talking about thoughts and angles, right? So this is just another angle that I hope people can appreciate, because I appreciate theirs. Because we need every angle possible to take this shit down, no shade. But it's like, it took the police 45 minutes to get to the store to respond to that call. That's some hood nigga shit. Statistically speaking, and I know they're trying to do better, girl, and shout out to the ones who actually are about community and actually about change and actually about being aware and being accountable, because they're in there. But I'm just saying, in a lot of these experiences, girl, is just showing up to be something completely different. The response time of the police in the hood, girl, is slow as hell. A nigga could come in, shoot everybody up, girl, make a sandwich. Take their time too, girl. Just on some Dahmer shit, girl. Just don't give a fuck, girl. I just know I'm gonna escape. Probably take a nap for a minute, girl, before motherfuckers show up, girl. But if something was to happen to any one of their officers, girl, they'll send the whole fucking squad and the neighboring goddamn squad, girl, town over, bitch, in the SWAT, girl. We ain't playing no games, girl, because they don't play about theirs. So if this was an amazing, wonderful community, girl, the police would have been there like that, girl, because in those areas they don't play. And shout out to, once again, the Renegade Cut. There is a video that he just did, and I'm gonna see if I can motherfucking tell y'all the name of it. Hold on, I gotta read that shit too, and then y'all comments. That's why we want to have conversations, girl, because I be like, we can cut through a lot of this bullshit, girl, if we talk to each other. His latest video called "Why Didn't was this it, girl? Yes. Why didn't defund the police happen when the Republican Party was saying to defund the FBI? They said, girl, fuck this bullshit, girl. You want the main number, girl. Get them higher hoes, girl. Get them. And he really broke down what that meant when they were talking about defunding the police. It wasn't trying to destroy the power and authority of law enforcement. It wasn't that. It was the fact of, girl, you're dealing with the community and the people. You're a response team to the people, and there are other people, girl, who can also accompany police officers to make sure they defuse the situation. For example, there's a television show that I need to get back into called Station 19. The way that they handle conflict in the midst of it, like a lot of people, when they're going through episodes and stuff, they're in the midst of it. They're already on a different type of energy. To be in that position, to be able to check on people, you're supposed to diffuse the situation, to try to de-escalate it from happening. And then extreme force being used, you know, when an extreme measure has occurred. Because once again, ain't no coming back from that. But when a lot of people are using that as an excuse to say, oh, well, I was scared. I was scared. But you're the one that went to the academy. But you're the one that went through teaching and all this stuff. You're the one that went through all these things. How do you have a right to be more scared than the individual who has not went through that training? And it's operating out of fear, girl. Like, and once again, for black people, I think there was a test that was done that literally showed I forgot the name of the term for it, but a certain level of anxiety that black people feel whenever law enforcement is around. Not because they did anything wrong or they have something going on, but oh my God, what you never know. You never know. And just because some black people may have not had those racist experiences does not mean that it cannot happen to you. So I'm just saying, yeah, he was high as fuck. George Floyd was. He was. But what would have happened if the response time was a lot better, especially if this is a community where it's good, amazing, wonderful people, girl. And if you have a good community and everybody just knows each other's name, girl, like we on Cheers and stuff, when some shit pop off, you gonna fly your ass to the scene and diffuse it as much as possible because you know the people, you have a rapport with the people, and you love the people. Candace didn't bother interviewing any of the families of the victims in her BLM documentary, though. She made a point to interview the cops that supported Dave. So, yeah, they did. They had a different viewpoint, and once again, I appreciate it, because it's like, yeah, show us where your mind is at, and then we can show you where our mind is at, and then we can try to work on the collective mind of blackness. Do you get what I'm saying? And to figure that out. And to also point blame at the LGBT community as well. And it was the gays that was funneling the money, girl. The gays was funneling the money everywhere. But they said Black Lives Matter, girl. I'm glad it was. At least some Black Lives Matter, girl. That wasn't really supported, girl. At least some Black trans lives was matter, girl. At least some Black gay lives mattered, girl. Financially, girl, to where they can be able to do some shit. At least some sort of Black lives benefited from this. And it's so crazy, the minority group benefited from the shit. Like, wow. But like I said with Candace, I hope that she continues to delve deeper into Black Lives Matter, though. Like, don't just hit this shit. Like, continue to jackhammer this shit. If you feel like Black Lives Matter was created to distract black people and to destroy them, girl, and you care about blackness for real, you know, the level of delusion that the large community of black people are experiencing right now, wouldn't you want to continue to break down those barriers so you can help us? But that's when I say, when it comes down to Candace and Ron, they be like, once again, y'all was talking about how y'all didn't understand y'all own struggle of blackness. And now that you understand it, why don't you help other people understand it for real? Like when Candace was talking about what clicked in her head, what really clicked in your head to be like, you know what, you're right. And if it was so powerful and so truthful, why hasn't it been able to resonate with other people objectively, girl? Because I don't mind being wrong, because I don't know everything. But yet her motivation was to expose the people that used the memory of the victims to gain profit, but didn't bother reaching out to their families. And then also too, now that we know where all this money has been funneled to and been placed in, and now it's time to get the law involved to, you know, reallocate the funds. Are we going to reallocate those funds to Black lives? Because at the end of it, Candace said at the end of her documentary that BML exploited money from white America. So you're saying all the millions of dollars came from white America. White America believed in Black Lives Matter so much that they donated millions of dollars. And these were white people who did this for the betterment of black people, girl. Who were the white people that gave all the money? Because you said they were stealing money from white America. So my question is, which white America gave the money? And if it's factual, let us know, because we may not know. I'm speaking ignorantly when it comes to that. I'm just asking the question. So I hope that money will at least go back to reallocate the black people. I hope some of those millions go to his family. I hope some of those millions go towards people that cared about him and loved George. I hope some of those millions go to these neighborhoods in the black community, girl, because you're saying that the black father is not there, girl, but then creating resources to help them still move forward, because even though things may not be traditional, what, God stops blessing you now because you're not having a traditional experience? No, if anything, this is another way to find out and improve the omnipotent and omnipresent experience of God's source universe, girl, by actually learning to love it in this form too. Not just periods, girl. I understand the period is good, period I, period but you also have to have commas too, because commas just take a moment to stop for a second, to break, to breathe, and then move forward. Girl. So I hope that she continues to move forward, no shade. I saw the interview with the trans child, and I was a little. They made that approach considering that Fox News is known to degrade people. However, red pill political YouTube grifters complain. That's why I'd be like, girl, can we just talk to each other, girl? Like, can we be on a neutral playing ground? How about we have somebody mediate that don't have any personal involvement, girl, in the political views? And just interested in trying to get people to understand each other so that we can work together. Because what might work for me may not work for you, girl, but there's another alternate version of it that will work for you if you know how to figure it out, girl. There is a way that's going to support how you feel if you figure it out. And I'm going to still read that interview. These Republicans had issue with defunding police, but when it pertains to social injustice, but majority Marjorie Taylor Greene was ranting about defunding the FBI when Trump's place is stacked up. Of course, girl, and then once again, you want to sit up here and slap the face of individuals, girl, and use their jargon against them. That's a form of insult. Because once again, if shit was really how people say it was peaceful and we're in a better place now, girl, there would be no reason to have a response or to react to something. These people who are in these disparaged groups are reacting to what's going on. They're reacting to the injustice that's happening to them, and then they try to flip it. For example, when the whole LGBT thing in Christianity happened, like when gay rights and gay exposure and gay narratives were now coming to the forefront that wasn't controlled by the majority anymore, the church was very much against it. Very, 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 very much against it. Very open about it. Knew exactly what they was talking about according to them as the truth. Girl, but then when these laws start coming into place that actually was preventing these people from using their religious freedom, which means I have a right to discriminate against you and I'm going to use the Bible as justification, girl. They cried out saying, no, that's not right. You're literally preventing me from literally judging other people. To judge other people, girl, and that religion was used as a scapegoat, girl. But then when you ask these people about the Bible, girl, and they just know the Lord so well, girl, and then you have conversations about the Lord, girl, all of a sudden it's period I, period girl, you're the one walking in the Lord. You're the one walking in awareness and understanding, and I'm not, because I'm LGBT, girl, so help me understand. But then when that happens, girl, y'all don't know how to teach. Y'all don't know how to show. Y'all don't know how to manifest it. So it's just like these people take the cries of the oppressed and they try to motherfucking remix it, just like Dreamgirls, girl. Got me a Cadillac car, girl, went from very seasoned to very much unseasoned, girl. And guess what? The unseasoned version, girl, was the popular one, girl, was the one that was true in the collective viewpoint, girl. But they were still listening to that seasoned shit and fucking with that seasoned shit, girl. Okay, behind closed doors, so make it make sense. Anyway, let me get to this article. was that? Okay, hold on. I had it pulled up. Okay. So it says Ken Paxton dined with the family of a trans kid. They now feel under attack. Amber Briggle wants to know why her state's attorney general issued a directive that states gender-affirming care is child abuse after Paxton visited her family for hours in 2016. Let me take this off. Girl, I should put this shit up on the oh, y'all wanna do that? I'm gonna do it like this. Because I'm trying to speak in the mic and read at the same time. All right. On a September evening in 2016, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and his wife, Angela, arrived at Amber Briggle's door in Dallas, homemade dessert in hand. The couple had driven from the next county over for dinner. Now, Briggle was nervous. It's hard to hate up close, she told herself. Ooh, girl, not the children speaking, girl, out of the mouth of babes. It's hard to hate up close, she told herself. But earlier that year, a federal judge had sided with the state's request under Paxton's leadership to block a federal mandate allowing transgender students like Briggle's son to use the bathroom that matched their gender. Girl, hold on, come up, screen up so I can see, girl. Sorry. A local reporter had sought out Briggle for her response to the ruling. Before leaving, the reporter asked Briggle if she had any questions for Paxton. She had just one. Would the Paxtons come to dinner and meet her transgender 8-year-old, she asked. To her surprise, they accepted. He literally went into a bathroom with my transgendered son so they could wash their hands before dinner, Briggle recalled. He turns around and looks and says, "This is nice. It's been a while since I had kids this age." As Paxton was leaving, Briggle asked him to do more to support trans kids, she said. The Attorney General shrugged. He didn't make the laws, he told her. It wasn't up to him. Briggle had been reliving this dinner over and over in recent days. On February 18th, Paxton, who this year faces a tough re-election, issued a legal interpretation that labels certain types of gender-affirming care for trans kids child abuse. He was backed up by Republican Governor Greg Abbott on Wednesday. It's unclear what these moves mean, and experts on trans issues say that no laws in Texas or other states have characterized such medical care as abuse. While it seems unlikely that transgender children will be removed from their parents, parents do worry the move sends a clear message that trans kids are unwelcome in Texas. He sits at the table, breaks bread with my children, with my family, in my loving, non-violent, drug-free home, safe and stable home, and then says that families like mine should not exist, Briggle said. It's shameful. Paxton's interpretation is non-binding. As he told Briggle, attorneys general don't have the authority to make laws. Last year, the state legislature declined to pass Senate Bill 1646, which would have classified gender-affirming care as child abuse. In a statement, Paxton said Texas law already supports his position. Paxton argues that children cannot legally consent to sterilization, a stance that perhaps confesses the science behind reversible puberty blockers, which pause puberty until they can reach an age where they are able to make more permanent medical decisions. There is no doubt that these procedures are abuse under Texas law and thus must be halted, Paxton said. The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services has a responsibility to act accordingly. I'll do everything I can to protect against those who take advantage and harm young Texans. Paxton's office did not respond to a request for comment from the 19th. That be the problem, girl. Why don't y'all respond back? Like, why y'all don't want to be giving y'all? I mean, you so openly express that. Why don't you expound on that further? Is it supposed to be I said what I said and that's what it is, girl? First of all, you ain't my daddy and you ain't my mama, okay? But it's like you have an opportunity, especially if you're trying to run to be governor and to be have a certain level of position and power over people, girl, or over the laws that's supposed to govern society accordingly, girl. Like, should you be expounding more so that people can understand you, so that you can have more people vote for you? But once again, what's understood needs no explanation, girl, unfortunately. So sad. Audrey Perez, policy and advocacy strategist at ACLU of Texas, disagrees with Paxton's interpretation of the law. Now, as of today, there's no court in Texas or the entire country that has ever found that gender-affirming care can constitute child abuse, Perez said. Perez and other LGBTQ+ advocates are doubtful that the opinion can withstand a legal challenge. The real risk, they say, is that Paxton's sentiments can fuel anti-transgender sentiment in the country, particularly aimed at youth. LGBTQ+ advocates say Paxton is playing politics with transgender kids and their families. Now, ahead of a crowded Republican primary on Tuesday, Paxton is facing security fraud charges and a federal investigation over bribery and abuse of office. If no candidate clears 50% of the vote, which polling indicates is possible, the race will go to a runoff in May. Again, this is an older article. I'm trying to really find the parts, which I need to find, of the dinner. How much longer is this damn thing? Oh, good. We almost at the end, girl. We can finish. Finish. Emmett Schelling, okay, executive director of the Transgendered Education Network of Texas, said he worries that the letter will send a message to trans youth that they are unwelcome in Texas. Quote, unfortunately, what we're seeing is a voracious, girl, is that the word? Oh, is it girl? Hold on, we about to learn how to pronounce this word, girl. Okay? Ain't no shame in my game, girl. I will go to Google, bitch. How you pronounce this? Hold on. Girl, I'm gonna gag if it's a simple ass word. I was right, voracious. I was right, voracious. Okay, never mind. Okay. Quote, unfortunately, what we're seeing is a voracious political appetite really doubling down on how much they're willing to hurt trans kid in the state for the sake of their campaigning, Schelling said, end quote. Abbott, who is also up for re-election but is expected to avoid a runoff, has vowed to enforce the opinion and investigate doctors and parents who connect kids to gender-affirming care. It's unclear how far Abbott will get in enforcing the opinion, given the lack of approval from the legislature as well as federal health care protections that cover transgendered people. Now, Paxton's 13-page opinion runs contrary, to years of medical research and practice on transgendered health. The American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association, and the American Academy of Pediatrics back gender-affirming care for minors. Studies have shown that trans youth who get that care are less likely to show signs of depression and self-deletion. A 2020 study published in the journal Pediatrics found that trans adults who had been given puberty blockers as kids were 15% less likely to have self-deletion thoughts. Trans children's rights have been repeatedly targeted in state legislatures in recent sessions. 10 states have passed laws that ban transgender kids from playing sports in the last 2 years, and Arkansas passed a bill that prevents trans youth from accessing recommended medical care. The Arkansas bill has been temporarily blocked by a federal court. Now, Texas has been ground zero in the fight over trans kids' rights. According to Perez, the legislature considered 50 anti-transgender bills in 2021 alone. 11 of those bills would have criminalized parents for getting their kids gender-affirming medical care. Texas passed just one anti-trans bill, a ban on transgender youth participation in sports. Schelling says policy, politics, and strategy do matter, but at the end of the day, the thing that is important to me is that for my people, children and adults, this is extraordinarily serious, and I don't think people understand that, end quote. Meanwhile, Briggle has been watching uncomfortably as families like hers panic. Parents are saying they are preparing to leave the state, she said. Quote, "He's just sowing more confusion and is hurting parents," Briggle said. Parents are confused. Are their kids going to get taken from them or not? See, once again, like my issue is we say this stuff, but we don't walk it out. We don't walk it out. We don't walk it out. We wait for other people to walk it out. Again, Ken had an individual, Mr. Paxton, okay, had an opportunity to sit with a family that he does not agree with, that culturally, historically, traditionally, in reference to the evangelical faith and the viewpoints on LGBT, especially after its inclusion and awareness in a viewpoint of the people actually living it, not just the people who are on the outside looking in, but actually the inner awareness experience, girl. Here it is. He had a chance to actually sit down with these people and talk to them and ask them questions that maybe he still struggles to understand trans experience, and those questions can help him understand it. Because once again, if you're really about the people, which people are you about? If you're about the people, then you have to be about the people, which means the collective of the people. But which people are we talking about? If it's all lives matter, then what excludes that life, especially the life of a trans child? Y'all be acting like this life for trans children and trans people in general is just this walk in the park. Like, girl, I'm about to come trans, girl, because you get all type of shit, girl. You get all type of protections, girl. You just, bitch, you better cut your shit off. Just in that type of mindset. Girl. Get the kids too, girl. We gonna be a trans fan. Just where is that information at? Because when I have had conversations with trans people that I know and trans women that I'm getting to know through their experiences on YouTube and just them sharing it, girl, it's a completely different experience, to where even to this day they're still trying to validate their own experience in a world that has been taught not to, at least not openly. It be some freaky deaky shit that be happening in the dark, girl, because that's where that confusion comes into play, girl. But in the light, nobody wants to see it and face it. And he failed. So what was the point of you going to this trans family, girl, with a trans child? What still made you want to go ahead and do that anyway? Where was the abuse that was happening there? These people invited you to the house, girl. Said, come over for dinner, girl. Come over for dinner and talk with us, sit with us, girl. If there's abuse, you're going to be able to point it out, girl. If it's so objective, the way that you're talking, girl, you'll be able to see past, quote unquote, the lies and the deception. You'll be able to see through the veil. You'll be able to see past the bullshit and be like, I told you. I knew it. Let's get this child to safety. Where was that at in that experience? It wasn't there. So when you have people, and that's the thing about this whole political party with the left and the right, it's a bunch of hurt motherfuckers want other people to fuck up the reality of other people's lives so their lives can feel better. The Republican Party They pander to the rich motherfuckers, and the Democrats, they go over to the other motherfuckers, girl, who ain't got it like that, girl. The disparaged people. You gotta get. They trying to get the whole spectrum, girl. And we go back and forth and back and forth and forth and back and forth and back, girl. And it really don't be no real change in the communities for real. And the more that we fear each other, the more that we are going to continue to perpetuate the stereotypes and the fear narratives around each other, because we're not talking to each other. And then when the invitation comes for you to actually get your own understanding and to help other motherfuckers understand, y'all come up with every excuse, and yes, I'm going to say excuse, every excuse in the book to not have the conversation. Oh, I don't have to prove myself to you. Nobody was asking for your opinion. But girl, you came on here and shared your opinion, girl, on a public platform. So who you trying to talk to, girl? The fuck? You don't want people to respond? Don't put it up there. The fuck? It would be stupid for me to sit up here and be like, why you guys responding to me? Why you guys talking to me? Fuck, girl, what's the point of me sharing my thoughts online, girl, if other motherfuckers ain't gonna chime in on it? What's the point? Especially when you're trying to talk and have a conversation to actually understand each other, girl, we gotta talk. The fuck? But see, again, oh, they're fucking with me. I told you, they're so bitter and they're so picky and they're all these things, girl. Then why don't you help me understand why I shouldn't be so picky? If that's the case. And the one thing about this age that we are ushering ourselves into, the age of Aquarius, girl, this time you ain't gonna have to just talk about it, girl. You gonna have to motherfucking be about it. And the only way you gonna be about it is you gonna have to be about yourself first. No shade. And what we like to do, in my opinion, is we like to wake up and go from one extreme to another extreme, girl. And a lot of times it be extremes outside of us. You have people who transition from Christianity to goddamn what's it called, girl? I want to say it right, girl. I don't want to say it the nigga way, girl. You go over to goddamn I think it's Kabbalah or whatever. Girl, I sound so ignorant with this. When it come down to expressing the religious stuff, girl, but you went from God to damn Jehovah, Krishna. You just go from different extremes, from one to the next, one to the next, one to the next, and it'd be so crazy. It'd be jumping from one place to the next, girl. But all the people that were in those books, girl, all shared the same similarity of knowing the self, knowing thyself. Again, the expression of God, source, universe's love for everybody is under so many different names, expressed in so many different ways, girl. We sit here trying to find the best way or the ultimate way for everybody, girl. Find the way that works for you. As long as you ain't hurting nobody or hurting yourself, girl, I say go for it. Bitch, if you want to worship a goddamn tree, girl, worship that tree, girl, because trees are we need trees to breathe oxygen, girl. It ain't hurting me. And these are the level of awareness and conversations that I think individuals like Christ and Buddha and Krishna and just all these other spiritual deities and entities, and they just had a certain level of awareness that we are all connected to. We are all literally connected to that experience. And that's why I do my videos the way that I do, girl, because when people be talking about, oh, you're attacking me, oh, you're trying to be a person who's trying to distract and be an agent of chaos and deflection or whatever, it'd be like, first of all, y'all don't even watch the videos to even listen to what the hell I said, girl, because I be talking about y'all viewpoints and y'all thoughts. Not y'all in general, but now all of a sudden I'm attacking you, girl. Where's the receipts? because I spent 2-3 hours giving commentary on your video. Hell yeah, girl, I'm gonna be commenting on your video. You said a lot of shit. Now, why don't you open your mouth and be able to help diffuse a lot of this stuff by having conversations with people who also are in opposition of you? It don't have to be a bad thing, girl. Especially if you out here trying to change the viewpoints and perspectives of other people and to get them on board with the Republican Party, girl. Wouldn't you want to be the best recruiter you can? And then again, I be asking to try to understand your perspective. I be asking Lance so I can understand his perspective and Ambiance's perspective and Empress Elegy's perspectives and everybody else on that channel's perspective. But when the time comes to talk, don't nobody want to talk, girl. It's just deflected. And my thing is, it's time out for the bullshit, girl. I will continue to do reviews on y'all shit. I will continue to give my commentary and critiques on y'all shit until y'all respond. It ain't about a goddamn view, because I don't get that many views from y'all, but y'all be goddamn watching. It ain't about that. It's about, if you saying you about community and you about that life, girl, it's time to see if you about that life, girl. Try the spirit by the motherfucking spirit and try me too. Let's try each other if we're really about it. Because the crazy part is that once we start talking to each other and learning to understand each other, guess what? We're going to find out that we have more similarities than we do stuff that makes us different. And to focus on the similarities and then honor the differences that everybody else lives, girl. But again, I'm just here to share information. That's all I'm here to do. You gonna do whatever the hell you want to do anyway. And I support you in that. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But just like y'all have an opinion and y'all use YouTube as a platform to express your thoughts, concerns, perspectives, which I do appreciate, because once again, we need those perspectives, girl. I'm just trying to help y'all understand that that's not going to be the only perspective. Okay? We all in this bitch together. So we're going to have to learn how to deal with each other, girl. Okay? That's where real change comes, girl. And now we're getting to a point to see if we really do support change, girl. And I'm talking about change for the better, girl. Holding on to traditional thoughts and values and stuff. Everything has to come to an end. Like I said in my previous video, my commentary on Ron. Nature, since y'all want to talk about nature, girl, nature shows us so clearly the beauty and the letting go of nature when it comes to death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. We're getting ready to enter into the last season of the year where everything is going to fucking die and be cold and be barren. And that's usually the time where a lot of people have self-deletion ideations, and some unfortunately actually go through it. They end up being hurt by the pain, because this is the time where you want to be loved, you want to be close, you want to be with family, you want to feel approved, you want to feel affirmed, you want to feel like you belong. But even in the midst of you feeling like you alone, there's beauty in that, because you find something that a lot of us have not been taught, and that is our own power. I remember back in 2018 when I had my ego death, and I've always kind of been an introverted type of person. I kind of like having my own space, and now I'm learning to enjoy that more, especially now that I'm in this chapter in my life to where I'm kind of being selfish with my own time and energy. And you're like, no shade, but girl, like, I gotta make sure I'm good. I know I can help other people be good, and I've been doing that, but girl, I'm learning what that energy feels like for me, so I can show it better. But during that time, my parents was transitioning, to live down in Indiana, and I think my sister was over in Africa at that time with her partner at the time, and I was here by myself, and that's when I fell in love with lo-fi music. At the lowest of low, girl, it was just something about lo-fi music that just Girl, what's understood don't need no explanation, girl. It just spoke to my spirit, and it just made me like sit in my shit and like deal with whatever comes up to find my own power. And I remember I was sitting in the front living room, and I was listening to lo-fi music on my Roku, and I had the Christmas lights on. I was looking out the window, and I had the windows kind of slightly open, looking at the snow falling, and I just felt this immense level of sadness just like fall over me. I didn't know where the fuck it came from, girl, but it just like, it hurt. There was a level of just hopelessness there, because I was still going through the situation, still going through the shit. But that's why God, Source Universe, isn't everything, because even at that particular moment, there was something redemptive there. Like, all of this is going to make sense. Even though it don't make sense right now, I know it will make sense. If I continue to hold on, if I continue to move forward, if I continue to learn how to let go of past, previous experiences that has kept me from moving forward in my life the way that I desire to. There is a beautiful awareness that comes with that. And sometimes pain is a teacher. It's very transformative too. But it also don't mind giving your ass the same lesson over and over and over and over again if you need it, because it's going to respond to your needs. It kind of reminds me of this old kung fu flick. Now look, you think I'm gonna watch tonight, girl? I'm gonna give me some papers, bitch, and roll up, because I ain't doing nothing for the rest of the night, girl. I didn't work in shit this week, getting shit together, girl. I want to relax and try to catch up on some damn sleep, girl. Because sleep is important, bitch. Okay? That's a part of self-love, girl. You gotta give your body rest, the vehicle used to help you, experience life. You're gonna have to take care of that motherfucker. But girl, I lost my thought. I'm still me and still blessed. I'm affirming me, girl. I don't give a fuck, girl. And also educate yourself and watch documentaries and shit, girl. Let me tell you something. Motherfuckers be over here tripping about crazy shit, girl. I like watching those National Geographic ass documentaries and Discovery Channel documentaries, girl, about health and different unique experiences of life, girl. And I remember it was this one, well, actually it was two. It was this one girl, they called her the Mermaid Girl, because she was born with her legs fused together. And damn, what was her name? Her name on the tip of my tongue. Damn, what is her name? I gotta look it up. I'm so mad I just had the name in my head. Ooh. Yeah, that was off. That's okay. Oh, Shiloh. That was her name. Shiloh. Lil ball of fire, girl. Just had so much life. Like, girl, despite the situation, girl, she didn't give a fuck, girl. She knew she was queen in her life. She knew she was the princess in her life. She'd have been through some scary experiences, girl, but she don't let that shit destroy her, girl. She was bounced back, just full of energy, full of life, just full of vitality, girl. And she lived her life to the fullest, but unfortunately, she didn't live very long because of her condition. But that didn't stop her from living. And it's like, you have people that come in the world. Oh, let me tell you about the other person. The other dude, I forgot his name. He passed away too. But his skin, like, he had a skin disease that his skin was literally deteriorating every day. Where he woke up every morning in pain, having to get his dressings redressed and stuff, his wounds redressed, the pain, taking baths to make sure that he stays clean so he doesn't get an infection. How painful that is. Just a very painful experience. But yet his ass was over here giving TED Talks and shit about life and keep going forward and shit. And here it is, he was sitting up here in front of hundreds and possibly thousands of people, telling them to go ahead with life and to keep going forward, and that no matter what you're going through, you can always make it. And god damn it, if I can go through this experience that is a rare experience and still live life, y'all don't have no fucking excuse. that shit wakes you up after a while to where it be like, girl, let me stop playing about me. Let me stop playing about me. Let me start learning how to love myself. And that's the thing, learning how to love ourselves completely. Because there are still, and even with me, some areas within ourselves that we're afraid to acknowledge. Because if you acknowledge that, you're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like you're not progressing. You're going to feel like everything that you thought was the truth was a lie. You're going to feel disappointed. You're going to feel jaded. You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel all these things. And then the part about it is that then we're going to sit here and actually affirm it to ourselves. So then we end up manifesting and making it real. As opposed to if those situations happen, just learning. Again, learning. It's not going to happen overnight, but just learning little tidbits. Making an attempt every day to try to build up some consistency to it. To where when those moments happen, girl, you can learn how to be in the present moment and aware in that moment and say, you know what? I honor this feeling because this is part of the human experience. I'm not going to deny it, but I'm going to go through it so that I can become better from this. And that's why people have near-death experiences and radical-ass wake-up calls, because sometimes it takes that to get your attention, and sometimes it just be so sad, but it also shows that God ass is willing to motherfucking be there for you when your ass going through hell too, girl. Again, I sat there in 2018 contemplating taking, what's up, Roki? Contemplating taking myself out the game, girl, for the second time in my life. And I told myself after the first, I was never ever gonna feel that way, and look what happened, girl. The second time, I was contemplating it. Thinking and hoping, well, damn, if I can't have you and you don't want me in that way, then, well, maybe I'll just take myself out, girl, and then you have to deal with that shit. But that would be very selfish and don't sound really smart. I'm gonna hurt myself to hurt you. Girl, I am not Lauryn Hill, bitch. If you want to go, go now. And fuck, I'll hurt you for you. I'll hurt me. Bitch. But still, that feeling and being stuck in that, what happened in 2018, I had never ever fucking experienced in my life. Nothing in my church history prepared me for that, girl. Nothing. It literally felt like I was stuck in my own personal hell that was playing in my mind that I can't escape. And I also have to go out into the open world, girl, with everybody else's shit, girl, and watch everybody else live their life, girl. I was having breakdowns at work and shit, girl. I ain't never had that. I was always known to come into work at that time. Jolly, cheerful girl, a hell of a damn worker, lighting the load. I like making people laugh and shit like that. Motherfuckers coming to me talking about their goddamn problems and shit, girl. I ain't had no problem. Knew how to multitask, girl. All these things. And then I come to work all fucked up, depressed, sad, breaking down and shit. Obviously something is wrong. But I was just simply dealing with the awareness that I had to let go of someone who didn't even know who they was, girl. And how I was so desperate to put all that energy outside of myself, trying to prove and love bomb the fuck out of people in hopes that they would love me, girl. But now I'm learning to give that love to me. Thank you, Ron. That's low-key what I want to do. I want to use my voice. I've always been told I had like a podcast, motivational speaker voice, and I'm going to really walk in that. Even with me stuttering and stuff, that's fine, girl. That's just going to, it don't stop the blessing. It's kind of like B-Slade Tone, the interview that he did with Lexi, where he kind of affirmed his sexuality or affirmed other people's opinions and thoughts of his sexuality. And he was like, you know, y'all was assuming that I was gay back then, that I was bi back then, but yet y'all was still falling out and being slain in the anointing, girl, when I sung. So how was my anointing destroyed, girl? You was still falling out. When you was speculating, you was still falling out. When it wasn't affirmed, you was still falling out. So now all of a sudden that's affirmed, you don't want to listen to it anymore, girl, but you was just yesterday before you found out, girl, sing and Make Me Over. Like, make it make sense. Like, learn to love yourself. And that's the thing. That's why I'm learning not to fear the experiences of other people, as y'all can see here in the video. And just having a conversation with people who are operating in fear. And a lot of us are operating in fear. And there are some fearful conversations that I need to have within myself that I'm pretty sure my experiences in life is going to bring people forth for me to actually face that, because I'm not perfect. But it's about me learning how to be okay with not being perfect. And that I can still be beautifully flawed and still deserving of all the wonderful things that God's source universe has for me. Like I said, I never once denigrated Lance's experience. I never denigrated Ron's experience. I never denigrated anybody's experiences, at least on my BubzDaGawd channel. Now, back then, maybe I would have, girl, but now I don't do that, girl. I'm trying to understand your experience, and I want you to understand my experience, because we're all collectively experiencing life simultaneously at the same time with each other. And this is the time to really find out what the fuck community really means and what it really looks like if we're really about that life. So I'm going to keep responding. I'm going to keep commenting. I'm going to keep tagging. I'm going to keep adding. I'm gonna keep doing that. Some people say it's a troll, girl. If I was trolling, girl, I would be underneath all your shit, girl. I would just be saying all type of dumb shit, girl. I would be over here doing all type of shit, girl. I'm trying to understand, because once again, y'all upload this on a public platform. Y'all don't own YouTube. No matter how many subscribers you have, girl, you still work for YouTube, girl. So this is the whole public streets, girl. Fuck. So people have a right to respond, and y'all have a right to respond to me. Again, if somebody feel like my commentary is problematic, girl, respond to my shit and show me how problematic I am, girl, so maybe I can challenge and check myself. And that's it. So and this is shit I really want to talk about. This is the conversation that I want to have. And one thing I'm learning is that, girl, I have to be the change that I seek. So now with these StreamYard lives and stuff, now that I'm paying for this shit and I'm getting the hang of this shit, girl, I'm going to be using my creative energy to help bridge the gap and learn at the same time. Because at the end of the day, people are looking for healing. They're looking for acceptance. They're looking to be included. What's up, Let's Talk? What's going on? I mean, you want people to validate your experience, and you want to be able to live your life without motherfuckers trying the fuck out of you and challenging your ass, girl. Then stop doing it to other people. And this is something we all need to learn, and we all need to be reminded of. Because there are going to be moments, girl, in life where life hits us so fucking hard, girl, where we gonna forget. Or we just might be like, bitch, fuck it, girl. I'm gonna let my ego flow. Okay, fuck it, girl. Fuck it. But there is always a chance and an opportunity, no matter where you are, to get back into alignment with yourself. And I can only speak for me. I'm learning how to give that and share that with other people, because there were people who did that for me. There were people who saw so much value and worth in me that they challenged the fuck out of me, and something in my spirit at that time needed that. To where I can show up as the person that I am now and learn to love myself through all of the levels of evolution of the man that I will become. And when you start pouring that love into yourself, girl, you show up different, you speak different, you act different because you are different. And different is not a bad thing. You being different and you being unique, that means that God is giving you permission and authority to experience life however you want to, through whatever expression of lens you have, as long as you ain't hurting yourself and other people. So according to these people, if a biological male decides that they want to put a fucking wig on and show up in the expression, in the cultural and social construct of a woman, not a female, but as a woman, girl, that's their experience. In the words of Miss Pearlie, shut up, bitch. I know somebody gonna like it. Some people feel complete in those experiences, girl. But then get mad when people try to tell you about you, but you can tell other people about them. That's why we talking to each other. Even when I speak about trans things, I'm not a trans individual, so I can't speak fully 100%. But I listen to those experiences of those people who have been vulnerable enough to share their experiences in hopes that somebody cares. Because objectively outside of them, they're being shown that don't nobody really give a fuck. And just like how a lot of white people say all lives matter, girl, and we say black lives matter, girl, we trying to understand which black lives. If it all black lives? Because there was a trans man that was murdered by police, girl, and guess what? Nobody said nothing in the community. Nobody marched for him. Nobody walked for him. Nobody did those things, girl. But again, a certain type of life. Do you see the bullshit? That's what we have to unlearn. Of course, it's going to be difficult to obtain new knowledge if we still following the grooves and the flows of our old traditional low vibrational ass thoughts. And the reason why I say low vibrational is because we're being asked spiritually, all of us in my opinion, to be raised to a higher level of understanding, and that actually benefits not just you, it benefits other people. Let me tell you something. I'm speaking for me. In my experience, even my experience on YouTube, my experience with the social the reality show world, and my experience, the little that it was there could have been opportunities and chances where I could have acted on my ego and could have allowed myself to fall into a trap that I feel like a lot of people are falling into, projecting their hurt and pain on other people. But I always check myself. And even if I do touch on something, girl, I always find a way to make it back around about me. Because no tea, no shade, but all motherfucking facts, girl, I'm going to always be about BubzDaGawd first and foremost. No shade. Just like I hope that y'all will be about yourselves first and foremost. But what type of self are y'all bringing to the table? And I want to bring my best self, girl. I could have allowed my feelings and my emotions about what other people said and thoughts and perspectives and opinions like literally sway me to fall into their goddamn trap, girl. But see, I check myself. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. No tea, no shade, bitch. I am a human. So guess what, girl? I be talking hella shit, but y'all ain't gonna hear it. Girl, I'm a different type of person. I'm unique and I'm weird, and girl, I have no problem with that, girl. I will smoke a motherfucking blunt, girl, and motherfucking act like I'm talking to your ass, girl. I will be cussing you out with me, myself, and I, girl, and feel real better, girl. You wouldn't know nothing about it, girl, so I ain't gotta get on this motherfucker and fall into the trap, girl. It's called working smarter, not harder, girl. I'm still a human being, so I gotta let shit out I gotta let it out. I don't just hold it in, girl. You let shit go, girl. But I'm just constructive in the way I let it go. No shade. But because I've done that, at least for me, newer opportunities keep opening up for me. In the midst of the opinions and views and perspectives and experiences, it's still opening up for me. And I realized that I have to deal with the public. I have to deal with other people. And there was a point in time where my ass didn't want to do that. And no tea, no shade. Sometimes I do be feeling that way. I be like, girl, fuck it. I got it. Shit. Yeah, I got it. That's all that matters. But it's like learning to find that balance of contributing what I can and then having enough awareness within myself to back myself away and work on myself and get myself together. Because, girl, I feel like we all should be doing that, so that we can learn how to balance ourselves with work and with the rest. Because even with us grinding, and I understand grinding, especially when you believe in something, you're going to put in that work, girl. But also make sure that you take time off to enjoy yourself as well. Like tonight, girl, I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm going to try to catch up on some sleep, because I was putting in the work. And again, all I'm doing is sharing my experiences. My experiences are open to challenge, interpretation. That's perfectly right. But I'm just saying, if we gonna do it, can we at least talk to each other? Like, if we gonna do that, can we at least have a conversation so that it can be productive, not just for us? Or hell, it may not even be productive for us in the short run, especially if, you know, egos and tempers start flaring and shit like that and disrespect happen. But it's like the people that come through afterwards, the fact that we had that conversation to try to understand each other is going to help somebody else down the road to actually say, you know what, instead of me projecting, instead of me regurgitating shit that everybody else says, girl, how about I actually test it and try it for myself and just see what happens. To study, to show thyself approve, to actually do it for yourself first. And I'm learning how to do that, to just do it. And even if the negative thoughts come through, oh, you failed, oh, you ain't know what you was doing, oh my God, they gonna laugh at you, they gonna key on you, oh, they gonna read you and judge you, girl, they gonna hold against you, girl, oh, girl, then that's when I started dealing with my own insecurities, girl, of not being affirmed when I was younger. And how I had to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard to prove my value and worth outside of myself. And actually learning how to stand up for myself. And here I am, 31 years old, still learning how to do that because I wasn't taught how to do that. And no tea, no shade, but all facts. I love my parents and they did the best that they could as parents, girl. I wouldn't trade them for anybody in the world. I would go through all the shit I went through with my parents again and again and again because the love was there ultimately. But I had to learn how to give that love to me first. I was good at loving other people. That wasn't a problem. I just didn't have an awareness of love for myself to be able to set boundaries for myself that I believe are healthy without the fear of somebody judging me or situations not working out anymore, girl. I'm learning how to be like, well, girl, if it don't work out, it just don't work out, girl. I'm still gonna be happy. No shade. Because I deserve to have the life that I deserve for myself. And the only way for me to learn that was through romantic relationships. That was the only way for my ass to understand that. Because there was a point in time where I was learning how to love myself and I was getting judged and bullied and shit. Which, goddamn, I'm surprised I survived that shit. Because the shit I went through. Nigga being gang stalked in the damn school and shit, girl. Stomped the fuck out, girl. Choked the fuck up, girl. Jawed in the face. Slapped the shit out of, girl. Being called all type of derogatory terms, girl. being afraid to stand up for yourself, girl. Your grades failing, girl. Fucking up, girl. I'm getting in trouble bringing home fucking D's and F's, girl, because ain't nobody listen to my experience. How the fuck I'm gonna be able to study and do good, girl, when I have all this other shit on my mind? Trying to understand my sexuality in a world that doesn't give me a reference to understand any motherfucking thing. So I already been through that, but when I went to high school was the best years of my life. I was so scared. I was like, oh girl. And I went to a predominantly white high school. And I didn't really experience racism from that school. I mean, I had people, when I had my afro back in the day, in high school, they were like, what you talking about, Willis? I'm like, I ain't bitching. Willis talking about your mama, nigga. How about that? But I was a part of my high school drama club, girl, with my predominantly white bitch, and they treated me with so much love and respect. So I know that there are white people out there who do have good hearts, girl. But when we talk about racism and all that stuff, we're talking about systematic stuff that has been through tradition and all that type of stuff. So, you know, they treated me with respect and everything, and I felt loved and honored and appreciated through them, to where it was inviting me over to their house. But you know what else? I was one of the black people that it was okay to be over at their house. I had a friend, I ain't gonna say his name, but he's Hispanic. His mom was very racist against black people, but she allowed me in the house. I could stay the night. I was quote unquote one of the good black people. And at that time, I ain't gonna hold you, girl, I did feel like I was privileged, girl, because, girl, all the black people be looking at me like, girl, he's sitting over there with all them white people and shit. But they didn't accept me for who I was, girl. I was a weird ass nigga, girl. So in a sense, me and Ron kind of had the same experience, I guess, with the white people, girl. But then through research, girl, I realized that my experience ain't the only experience, girl. And then after that, girl, I spent all of my 20s all the way up to goddamn 29, 30, but when I really had that shift, looking for love through relationships, girl. Fell in love with my first love, girl, bitch. And I'm like, I pulled this nigga on the first try, bitch. God is good, bitch. I know I'm doing something right. Girl, and then that didn't work out, and then I was chasing that feeling. That felt so good, girl, especially in the beginning, girl, because everything felt good in the beginning. But chasing that feeling to where at the beginning, after him, I was dating niggas that looked like him, girl, trying to find that feeling, that energy, girl. Did desperate shit, girl. It was one motherfucker, girl. I bought this nigga weed, video games, clothes, girl, food, girl, picked his ass up, girl, just all trying to get this nigga attention, girl, playing the fuck out of me, girl, and I let him do it. Just so desperate for attention and love outside of me, girl. And then 2018 came, girl, and motherfucking hit me like a ton of bricks, and that nigga was not ready at all, girl. It caught me off guard, bitch. Caught me with my pants down, girl, and I was bent over, bitch, and I ain't no bottom. I'm a boy, Damon. That's not what we do. Nigga, lock doors. Fuck no more lock doors. Lock the door, bitch. But I'm grateful for that experience. That experience woke me up to where it's like, I don't have hate or malice for anybody in my previous experience. Even him. He was just a catalyst that universe saw fit for the evolution of Bubs. To where I can be cordial with him and be cool with him, and I hate you. When you did this to me, and I remember you did this to me, and you know I'm just mad. And why you? That's not me, girl. That's not me. That's in the past, and I'm better from it, girl. And then on top of that, no tea, no shade, girl. That just means that God got something better for me, girl. So when motherfuckers leave, girl, I don't be mad, girl. I might be sad a little bit, girl, because it'd be like, damn, you know, you was nice and stuff. But after that, it'd be like, girl, obviously the universe has something better for me. So let me get the upgrades of the upgrades, Lord, when it come down to this shit. Because I know the motherfucker that's meant for me, girl, is an individual that's going to reverberate the same energy I feel about myself. I'm learning to love and honor and cherish me, and I deserve a partner that does that. And contrary to the fact that because they're gay, it doesn't mean they can't have a girl, because a lot of heterosexual people don't have that shit either. But because I'm learning to love myself, girl, that no matter what barrier or cultural, societal barrier is placed in front, girl, love gonna always find that sweet spot to get the fuck through it. And I know I deserve that energy because I give that energy. Just like this instrumental that's playing in the background, this instrumental makes me feel something that feels good. And then, like, when I be meditating and stuff, I just be meditating in the feeling, okay, this is what feels good. Okay, this is what financial freedom feels like. This is what love feels like unconditional. When you got morning breath, eye boogers in your eyes, bitch, you sick coughing, coughing up shit. If your ass end up having cancer, if your ass end up in a car accident, if your ass end up having some sort of deformity, no matter how life decides to show up to you, that you are worthy of somebody who is saying, I love you for who you are. In all whatever forms life brings your way. So this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to be a creator, that I just wake up every day and I just get to create, girl, and happen to get paid for it, girl. It's not a job for me, girl. I love it, even when the hours are long, girl. Because even with me editing the shit, girl, my motherfucking shoulders and shit be hurting and shit. And, you know, back and shit be hurting because I just be at it and be so into it when it comes to editing and stuff like that, to where it's like, I love doing that, girl, but I also deserve, while I'm doing that shit, for my motherfucking partner to come through and massage my back, girl, and be like, okay, take a break. Let me give you some hair real quick. Let me refresh you real quick. Baby, come on, rub my back. Rub my back. It's a little tense back here. It's a little tight. Yeah, it's right there. Just feeling that. And then while I'm meditating, I will start to envision in my mind scenarios, like likely scenarios that I would like to happen. The people in the scenarios can change, girl. The environment can change, girl. But to give a foundation of what it wants. Because back in the day, girl, when I was going through my not ego death, but my 20s and shit, girl, I would literally sit in my room, girl, and put myself in my feelings, girl. I would be listening to Floetry, girl, put on feelings, bitches, a bunch of sad ass songs, girl, wanting love, and be putting myself in my feelings, just, oh girl, I need somebody to love me. If I just found love, I feel like I'll be a better person. If I just found love, I feel like this. If I just found love, girl. Now when I meditate and think about love, girl, it's a beautiful thing now. I envision myself experiencing those things, girl. I envision myself being worthy of that, girl. And I also remind myself to be appreciative of the process, girl, because when I pay attention to the process as it's happening, girl, when that motherfucker do come into my life, I'm going to be able to value him at the highest, most maximum way I can, because I learned stuff about myself so that when this person shows up, I can show up as the best version of myself and give unto them, and that I know that I'm worthy of someone reverberating that same energy back to me. This shit is deep, y'all. Again, we can't just hit these hot topics head on, girl. We gonna need everybody in the community, girl. We gonna need a 360 complete engulfment of opinions and perspectives and viewpoints. That's why I'm not mad or reading the fuck out of Candace and Ron and Lance when it comes to their perspectives. I'm trying to understand it. Where is the gray area, girl? Because we low-key been doing this shit for decades. And low-key centuries, girl. We've been doing this shit for a while. What's up, Spicy? Hey. We've been doing this shit for a while. How do we now move forward from this shit so that everybody can benefit, everybody can be happy. Everybody can be satisfied. But like I said, I'm gonna do my part. And that's on period I, period of. Okay? So, I guess in closing, what I'm going to say, because I'm starting to get the munchies. And I kind of want some shoulder gummy worms, girl. They're kind of calling my name right now. Some white cheddar cheeses. And I say this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it until I draw my last breath, girl. Love yourself. Love yourself. And at first, it's going to be hard because we haven't been taught how to do that effectively. And actually how to apply it to our lives. But once we start doing that, girl, you will realize that, girl, your life will change, where you will find true freedom for you, because now you have done the one thing that you wasn't taught to do, was afraid to do, or just simply didn't know how to do, girl. You actually make the choice to affirm yourself. And baby, once you affirm yourself, can't nobody stop you. They gonna try. What's that one scripture say? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It didn't say the weapon was not going to form. It said no weapon formed. When it does come against you, girl, the weapon will not prosper. It's going to form. It's going to scare you. But pay attention to how that weapon is forming. To where when it's time to pull the trigger, girl, it's a blank. When it's time to let go of the arrow, girl, the rope breaks. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share my opinion and views with that. So, and I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep doing that until we start having some conversations, girl. And again, I'm gonna be critiquing people. So it's kind of like, girl, when y'all release some commentary, girl, I'm gonna have a conversation until y'all have the conversation, girl. We can really get down to it. No shade, girl. And like I said, I give y'all full free permission to use my audio, girl, for you, however you want to use it, girl. For your commentary, that's perfectly fine. All I'm gonna say is, girl, if you do it, play the entire thing like I'm playing the entire thing on y'all end. Okay? So, I want to shout out Spicy. I know you came in towards the end, but shout out to Spicy. Shout out to Let's Talk. Shout out to Ron, Mims, and Roki. Shout out to King Anubis, aka Rico the Brat. Alright. Shout out to Miss English. Shout out to Aries. And shout out to, I think we had Amber in the building too, if I'm not mistaken. And shout out to everybody else in the replay gang. Like, leave your thoughts below. How do y'all feel about, this random life? How do you feel about fearing the experience of others? Have you had any experiences where people feared your expression of life? Have you been fearful of other people's expression of life? And if so, leave it down below and let's have a conversation, y'all. That's how we heal and change and grow and become better, by listening to each other, not creating these falsified narratives in our mind, girl, what we think the thing is, girl, but to actually face it and see it for what it actually is. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and leave y'all with the vibes, girl. Okay, and I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your Halloween weekend. Okay. And I'll see y'all soon.